Hi guys, this is Julie. Thank you for stopping by for another video today, guys. In this video, I am addressing a question that was asked by King V. What about vitamin B12? Often people want to know what Dr. Sebi had to say about vitamin B12. Dr. Sebi addressed vitamin B12 and vitamin D and other vitamins that he had been asked about, and Dr. Sebi had never given credence to vitamin. The focus had always been on minerals because the body is made up of minerals, and the minerals provide the raw material that the body needs in order to rebuild, repair, and to sustain itself. Having said that, I know that there is a concern about vitamin B12, and individuals who are on the Dr. Sebi program or following the Dr. Sebi way of life, some of you I know are concerned about vitamin B12 because there is a bit of scaremongering that is happening as it pertains to B12 at this time, because the same thing happened with protein. You know that usually one of the first questions you're asked when you say that you eat a plant-based diet is, where do you get your protein? And now it's the same thing with B12. The moment you're on a plant-based diet, that is the first thing that people, well, now it's protein is probably the second thing that people ask about. We're told that we have to supplement, and if we don't supplement, we will suffer a number of symptoms, including mental problems, anemia, and so forth. And so people get scared. So we ask ourselves, where does B12 come from? And people will readily say, oh, it only comes from animal, or it comes from brewer's yeast. Those are the only sources you can get it. That's what most of the sites will tell us, that's where we will get it. But realistically, vitamin B12 is made by bacteria. It is made by bacteria that lives in the gastrointestinal tract of animals. So it doesn't come directly from the animals per se. It doesn't come directly from the plant. It is the bacteria that facilitates this. One thing that is often ignored is that there are a number of people who have been told that they are B12 deficient, and these individuals are meat eaters. So if that is the case, that leads to another question. Is it really an issue of deficiency, or are we talking about absorption and utilization? Because that is a totally different issue. And in reality, I do believe that a lot of us are faced with issues of absorbing our nutrients and utilizing our nutrients because we have gut issues. We're coming from diets that were not friendly to the gut. And even when we change the diet, we never really address fixing the gut, because sometimes you have to take a time to systematically address the gut, address the liver, cleanse the body, some period of fasting, whether it is dry fasting, water fasting, fasting with herbal teas, doing mono diets, because mono diets is also a way to help to it's mono diet with fruits. I'm talking specifically with fruits. And also, of course, maybe doing some green juices, doing these things over extended period of time, and especially using herbs like the Cascara Sagrada, which addresses the gut and helps to fix the gut. Let me not say it fixes the gut, because the body fixes the gut. The body is its own doctor. The herbs and the foods, like those that are on the nutritional guide, they provide the raw material that the body uses to do what it needs to do, but the body does it. There was a time when we lived in harmony with nature. We ate out more in nature. So chances are, when we ate food on the daily, we would be getting some bacteria from some of those foods in the natural environment. We would be getting some bacteria naturally that's coming into our bodies. Just as though the animals out there grazing on the grass would be getting some bacteria. But we now live in a society where we say we are civilized, everything is sterilized, and so we are not getting some of these beneficial bacteria from the foods that we should be getting. And so it's imperative that if you have a yard, start a little garden, plant some lettuces out there, and when you pick and you're making your salad, don't try to wash off every single bit of dirt. Leave a little bit on it. You rinse it and you break it up in your salad, and you have, you make your salad and you have your salad, and have more fruits from nature. If you don't have any space such as that, buy organic. Not everyone can buy organic all the time, but try to buy organic some of the time at least. Where you can get your fresh fruits and vegetables, go to your farmer's market, get some foods that grow in natural environment that will have some healthy bacteria on it. You don't have to rinse these excessively because they're organic. They were grown in good soil, and you can query about the items that you're buying. Know who you're buying from. Go to your farmer's market if you live in areas where you can access farmer's market. Ask questions, find out about how the foods are grown, and get foods that are grown in their natural environment as possible. When you go out in nature, sometimes you go out in the wood, you pick some of these natural foods, you pick some of these natural herbs, you rinse them off and you have them, or you could just eat them like that. In some of these areas that are not sprayed, we don't need as much B12 as we are told. You only need a small amount, and it is stored in the body for a long time. And so the possibility of us being depleted in B12 is actually slim. The problem is that we need to fix our gut so that our body is able to utilize all the nutrients that comes into the body, so we can properly break down the food and extract the nutrients from the food and utilize these nutrients to help to the body to function properly. And so a lot of us, the problem is our gut. So before we worry about deficiencies, we have to worry about fixing the gut. That's one issue. We cannot circumvent nature. In our natural environment, we would be getting bacteria from the soil through the foods that we eat, through interacting with the soil, whether it's being out there with our hands in the dirt, doing, and so forth. Even when people are gardening these days, they have gloves. No, sometimes you have to throw away the gloves and get your hands dirty, get your hands out there in the dirt, mingle with it. And instead of always, trying to separate ourselves in every way from nature, that's what we do. We're supposed to be in contact with nature, and we cannot circumvent nature, and therefore we have to look at how we can facilitate the natural occurrence of nutrients in our body, and not look at how we can take, or which nutrients we can take. Nutrients in isolation always create a problem. They will create a problem in the long run. They will. You may not see it manifesting itself immediately, but over time it will create an issue. Dr. Sebi's point of view had always remained the same as it pertains to vitamins, and it's no different whether it's vitamin B12, vitamin D. I will do one on vitamin D, but Dr. Sebi did address that, and I do have a video on that. Nothing can make up for what occurs naturally in nature, and that is just the reality of it. You don't need meat for B12. That's a fallacy. What we need to do is look at how we can fix the body. Even if you are on a plant-based diet, what type of plant-based diet you're consuming. Also, did you after coming from a diet where you may have been eating a standard diet of meats and hydrogenated fats and all these types of things, did you take any time to clean your system, to detox? Because sometimes the gut is damaged to the degree where it has to be fixed, and switching to a plant-based diet doesn't automatically fix the gut. Sometimes you have to specifically target the gut, fix the gut, and it may mean that the diet will have to be different for the period of time when you're trying to address the issue. Anyway, I feel like I have gone probably a little bit longer than I intended on this topic, but I hope it answers the question. If you feel that it has not answered the question, let me know down below, and what specifically you wanted me to address, and I will look at that. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this useful. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ta-ta!